Hey y'all, what's up? This is Rosie. So, I'm sorry that I didn't put out a video last week. Last week was my mom's birthday. I lost my mom 6 years ago. And so when her birthday comes up, it's really a hard time for me. And I just didn't have it in me to edit a video, so no video. And also I didn't have anything to talk about. And I really don't have anything to talk about this week, so I'm just gonna do this instead. So on my social medias, I came out as demisexual. I am demisexual, heteroromantic. Basically what demisexuality is you don't have a sexual desire to be with someone unless you are bonded to them emotionally or have an emotional connection with them. For me, I am sexually attracted to guys, or I find them sexually attractive, but if I were to meet them in person, I know that I would not just hop on their pelvis and go. I have to know them. I have to have that emotional connection with them. And then if we are on the same wavelength, then yeah. And the reason I did that, and I came out like right after Pride was over, like it was July 1st. So this person on Instagram decided they were gonna call me out and saying I was just jumping on the Pride wave and that this was just a play for attention, and that's how most of society works, and I should just be myself and blah blah blah. And I was like, I am not hungry for attention, least of all yours, so crawl back under the rock that you came from back in the 9th pit of hell that you somehow escaped from, and leave your bullshit to yourself. But then I deleted that comment and deleted their comment because I don't care. It was just a thing. Whatever. They don't know me, so whatever. But the reason I did do that is because I felt good to finally be able to identify with something that defined me. Back in like May or early June, my kids and I were talking about different sexualities. And my oldest was describing to me what demisexuality was, because I had never heard it until that moment that they said it. And so I asked them, what is that? And they told me. And I said, maybe that's what I am. And my kids kind of, like, their eyes brightened and they looked at me, and I thought it was cool. So it's on the asexual spectrum. I never thought of myself as really ace, but there are some things about me that I don't feel comfortable saying online, I guess, but yeah, it really explains a lot. When I was in high school, I didn't have enough of a crush on any boys to ever really date them. And if I did, I knew I would not be able to be with them. There were so many girls in my school who were pregnant before they graduated. And they had some kind of a class they would go to. I guess it was maybe like a Lamaze class. And the pregnant girls would go with their teacher across the street to the clinic. That was like across the street and around the corner from us. So it's like a block away. And I used to see that, and I found it odd that those girls could just go with a boy who says, I like you, and then they go on a date, and the next thing you know, they're pregnant. Of course I knew what they were doing, but still, I didn't really get it. I never got the concept of sleeping around, if that makes any sense. I never understood how you could go to a club or to a bar or just go out on a night with friends, see this guy, think he's hot, then you go home with him. You don't know his name, you don't know anything about him, you don't know his medical history, you just know he's hot and I want to sleep with him. So you do that. And then there's talk of a walk of shame. And years later, Amber Rose calls it a slut walk and whatever. So yeah, I just never got it. It just never clicked with me. And I couldn't identify with that. And I always thought because I couldn't get it, that I couldn't like grasp having more than one partner that you're involved with, that I thought maybe something was wrong with me. I thought maybe something was wrong with my brain because all of these girls were doing that and I couldn't make my brain work to do that. So something is obviously wrong with me. That's what I thought. So to look up something that defined me felt good, and that was why I came out. And I know that there are other people out there like that, because I mean it's online, of course, and there are people who talk about it, and they talk about the frustrations they have of people like coming up to them and going, you know, so you're straight? Is that what you're saying? And some demisexuals are like, no, I'm not straight, I'm demisexual, blah blah blah. And I can understand that, I guess, but I mean, I am heteroromantic, so I do still see myself as straight, but I just can't be with someone just because of that, if that makes any sense. Even in my marriage, I couldn't understand why when my now ex and I, when I knew that he was being deceitful, I started losing interest in him. I didn't find him attractive anymore. I didn't want to be with him. I didn't hold anything back from him in that sense, physically. But mentally, I wasn't there, and I didn't want him anymore. So when he finally walked away, I was relieved that I didn't have to share my body with him anymore, because I didn't feel that for him. And the few times that he did try to come on to me because his mistress wasn't fulfilling enough for him, from what he told me, he didn't understand why I didn't want him in that way. I couldn't even give him a kiss, because he did ask me once to give him a kiss. And I looked deep in his eyes, and I looked at his lips, and I looked at his eyes again, and I said, I can't do it. And he was like, why? And I said, I just can't do that. You're not mine, so I can't do it. And he still walked away, like, irritated, I don't know, but I just couldn't. So if it's not there for me mentally and emotionally, it's not there for me physically. And that's just it. So now people online know, and I guess y'all do too now. But anyways, I'm gonna go. In the description, you will find my donations links for PayPal, CASHAPP, and GoFundMe. If you would consider hitting those and helping me out, I would appreciate it. If you would like to be a part of my tribe, hit the subscribe button. No matter what generation you're from, I would be so glad to have you. Thank you so much. I love y'all so much for wasting time with me. Hope to see y'all on the next one. Bye for now.